greater potentials. Right here, of course, is myself, Martha, and I have been hanging out with you from the morning till now. But of course, I am not alone in the studio. I told you I was going to look for my guest, and he's right here and seated, waiting to have this conversation. I'm right here with Mr. Gray Ikwe. Did I get it right?
Yeah, Greg Equate.
Mr. Greg Ikwe,
Yeah.
and he's from Smart Investors. And he is a financial expert, a business developer, and we'll be having conversations around financial literacy and business development. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Right, are you ready for us?
Yes.
Guys, you're ready for it. All right, guys, it's the point where I'd advise that we take our notepads and our pen and then we note down things that are important for us. I mean, we're in a time where the economy gets harder, but people who understand can navigate through. And these conversations we have right here every week is to ensure that we put you in a better place, or we all are in a better place to ensure that we don't, suffer what the economy is suffering right here. So yes, Mr. Greg, let's get straight to it. What exactly is financial literacy and how important is it to the average Nigerian?
All right. Thank you once again for having me. Financial literacy is the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. Looking at the last report that CBN released concerning financial literacy figures in Nigeria, we have less than 60% of the 200 million Nigerians estimated that are financially literate, and that is quite poor. That is like saying out of 200 million, we have about 100 and 510 million people that are financially literate. So, and there's another disturbing statistics again, that barely 1% of our entire population have at least 500,000 in their accounts.
Whoa, what's the lie?
So you can imagine. So you can see that the financial literacy aspect will now contribute to what is called financial intelligence. So when you are financially literate and you understand how to make use of budgeting, make use of credit, make use of financial planning, and all financial tools available, you will now step to the next level of being financially intelligent to implement those decisions to be financially free. So a lot of Nigerians are currently not financially literate, right? So even if we check the current if the current data comes out, I don't think it's even up to 60% now. So it's literally an issue of trial by error thereabout here. So financial literacy is very critical. Some companies have tried to bridge this gap, fintech companies, but the penetration has not gone deep enough. So we need more efforts on this front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Financial literacy. Now, what are the key components of financial literacy to look out for?
We have budgeting.
Okay.
We have budgeting. You need to understand how to budget, which is the preliminary thing you have to understand. We have planning, financial planning. You need to know how to plan your funds. This is going to be used for this is going to be used for that, and all of that. You also need to know how to use credit to your advantage. Many people don't know how to assess credit. Where do I get this amount from? Where do I get this from? What do I use it from? How do I manage if I'm in a debt situation? So these are the three key components of financial literacy, and you need to understand where your income streams are and where your income is coming from.
Let's understand where your income streams are.
Yeah. So, and when it comes to money, there are three things that you basically need to understand. Number one, how to make money. Number two, how to manage money. Number three, how to multiply money.
Are you listening? How to make money, how to manage money, and how to multiply money.
So all these can be courses on their own. So you can make money through exchange of your time. Right? You are working somewhere, they are paying you for your time, right? You can also make money through your skills, you understand? So you are offering so skill set for so amount, right? You can also make money through consulting or there are various buying and selling. These are various measures. So you must define what exactly is your money inflow stream. That is your first step, right? Then number two, how do I now manage this money? That next phase of managing the money is cash allocation, right? So according to percentage distribution, right, any fund that come to you, 50% should go into expenses, right? 20% should go into savings. about 10% should go into charity. There, about the remaining 20% can go into investments or what have you. So that is like a rough sketch. But you can, yes, in terms of managing money, but you can define how you want to divide these percentages. Some people can say, okay, right, my income, I can leave off 30% or 40% of my income, and I can restructure the rest around. So that management now allows you to have more money on multiplication. So the multiplication is where the key effect is.
Yes.
You understand?
That's
so
where we focus
yes,
the
that's
most
where
on.
you should focus on. So you have now made money, you are now intelligent in managing it. How do I now multiply this money? So these are now where you engage various investment streams and systems. So an investment, I hope I'm not running ahead of myself.
No, let's because these things you talked about managing the money, and I think this is where the major problem is at.
Yes.
Most of us make the money,
yes,
but we don't know how to manage the money.
Exactly.
And over the weeks we've been having this talked about investments throughout this month.
Okay.
And we've been talking about the fact that no matter how little the amount of money you have or you earn is, there's something that can always go to savings.
Yes.
You can always save. So if I'm earning 50,000, there's something I can save.
Yes.
It doesn't mean even if it's 5,000, I can save it because it can do something for me later on. 5,000 put together in a whole 10 months make a substantial amount of money that can be invested in certain things. And this is something we don't understand. What other keys can you help us with as regards managing money?
Okay. With regards managing money, you must delay gratification.
Okay.
You understand? What delaying gratification means is there are some things that will be exciting to you that are wants and not necessarily needs. You have to forgo them. You understand? Right? So if the funds you have right now, you know that you are working towards an investment or a project and you can't buy something that is X amount, you can go for a cheaper version of that and delay the gratification. There's always this pressure to meet up with status quo. This is what is trendy. I need to buy it too. You need to overcome all of that. So that also plays a major role in your money management skill. You don't need to impress people. It's not, see, the truth is when you don't have, there are very few people that can come to your aid. They don't care.
Of course.
You understand? So there's no need going the extra mile to impress people that have this, have that. Cut your coat according to your size. Yes. That's one of the key things to manage.
Yes, and it's funny that we're even having this conversation right now, because yesterday I was speaking to someone and she says in a bid to keep up appearances, a lot of people now we're in a system where transportation has become much more expensive.
Yeah.
Now I can conveniently take an Uber or Bolt wherever I'm going to.
Yeah.
Before now, I can conveniently do that because it is affordable. But now that it has increased, what can I do to ensure that all my earnings don't just go on moving me from one point to another? Okay. And then she was talking about subscribing to cheaper means of transportation.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean that I am not sensible enough, or it doesn't mean I don't belong.
Yeah.
Because in a bid to belong, we cheat ourselves out of so many things. So that's right there. I had to put it out there, as well. Okay. Now let's talk about investments, which is one of the reasons, we're here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it again.
Okay. So, basically an investment vehicle, right? So you're at point A now, you want to get to point B. An investment is any vehicle that you engage that can take you from point A to point B. So let me cite an example of what point A, point B is. I am at 100K at the moment. I want to be at 1 million, right? So how do I move the 100K I have in my hand right now to 1 million? So I need to evaluate all the vehicles available that can move me from 100K to 1 million, right? So take, for example, you want to go from here to Lagos. Okay. You can trek to Lagos, right? There was a time.
No, I can't.
Okay, there was a time during Buhari, when Buhari won, that several people were trekking to Abuja from far north. You understand? So that is a vehicle. You understand? You can ride bicycle to Lagos.
Wow. I don't recommend.
You can ride a bike to Lagos. You can drive to Lagos. You can fly to Lagos. The truth is, all these vehicles, they have their different timing in terms of arrival.
Yes.
If you are going by flight, averagely 1 hour here in Lagos.
Yeah.
If you are going with a vehicle, averagely 10 to 12 hours here in Lagos. If you are going with a bike, you should be talking 16 to 18 hours. If you are trekking, you should be talking days. You understand? So it is the same thing in investment. There are various investment vehicles and they deliver at different times, but now their differences is the risk exposure.
Okay.
So the faster it delivers, the higher the risk.
risk.
You understand? So a plane is riskier than moving on the road. You understand? So should in case anything goes wrong, the damage in a plane is higher than if you are walking on foot. You understand? So if you are walking on foot, you can easily dodge if something is coming to meet you. You understand? So it's the same thing with investment. So there are various. So I'll just speak through some streams, right? So we have mutual funds.
Okay.
Mutual funds is something you can discuss with your bank, and they will link you up with there are a few banks that work on it. Because of the rules, I may not be able to mention any bank at all at the moment. So mutual funds is one of it. Money market also. This basically it does like 10-12% per annum. Many people may not be interested in that unless you have volume.
Yes, 50%.
Unless you have volume of money ahead, that will make sense to you, right? So apart from that, we have real estate, right, which is also another investment vehicle. The thing about real estate is your money can hardly go down. You understand? It will keep appreciating, but you need to give it time. You understand? So real estate is something that a lot of people, if they want to save, in fact, if you want to save wealth for generations, real estate is what you have to look into. Because whatsoever real estate you buy at the moment, your children can benefit from it, your children's children can benefit from it. Talking about leaving wealth for your children's children, that is one of the channels, right? So real estate, we have newer assets like cryptocurrencies, buying and selling, short-term contracts of buying and selling, commodities, agricultural commodities, which are season-based. So there are various investment streams that we can keep on listing here, right? So it depends now on the risk appetite of the investor and what you align with. Most times when people talk about investment, they say, okay, this person is doing this, I'm jumping into it. No, you have to find what aligns with your personal values. You understand? What you are interested in, you understand? So it has to make sense to you. There are some people that what they invest in is other businesses. What that means is they find a business that is about to start, and they see that, okay, this aligns with what I want to do. I'm somebody that is interested in tech. This is a tech business that is starting, and I've seen the numbers and it makes sense, and they jump into investing in that tech business. So it just depends on the risk appetite. And this is how it is, right? The older you are, the more you should take lesser risk. So if you are 50, you should not be exposing your funds to so much risk that you bring, because it could affect you psychologically. You understand? The younger you are, the more you have opportunity, because if you lose it all, you can start again. If you're in your 20s, you can take crazy risk. In your 30s, you should reduce your risk. In your 40s, you reduce it even more. At 50, you should be completely conservative. You understand? So these are some of the investment systems in place. So just to throw them out there in no particular order.
Okay, so these are some of the investment people can look at. Venture in.
Yes.
But what do you advise somebody? Which one of them? You have emphasized real estate.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, it is based on the person, right? Looking at the Nigerian scenario at the moment, right? We have huge housing deficit. So we don't have enough houses to cover the population, and there's a population bulge. You understand? We are giving birth every day, like
every single day.
Like we have not put in any system to control it. You understand? So real estate is one critical area. Commodities is another very critical area, because people always feed. People always eat. So and currently this particular production season, there was a low output in terms of farmers producing. Because high cost of fertilizer, high cost of several things, so they were not able to go into production. So looking at this whole scenery right now, next year food is going to even be more expensive. So it is intelligent that as we are approaching harvest from October, it is wise that you can consider that to invest in some of the staples. Yes, you can store and resell later, and there are platforms right now that you don't need to go and buy physically and go and store. You can buy it with your mobile app. Then you can buy it, and they are backed by credible banks that we know. It's not as if they'll just fold up and run with your money. You can, okay, I want to buy maize. You just pick your phone and press, okay, I need 5 bags of maize. You credit your account with your card, you pay, it's in the warehouse. You understand? So the next step now is when after 2-3 months you want to sell, you put, okay, I'm selling. So now the increment between that point of buying and point of sale. So you don't need to even move out of your house to even run this kind
We'll
of
have this conversation. We'll have this because I think it looks more feasible.
Yes.
Something that can be done easily.
Yes.
go
So
on.
a lot of platforms have stepped in to see how they can bridge this gap, because before now, when I hear commodities, you have to go to the market, you have to
the
buy,
farms.
carry it in bulk in a vehicle and go and drop somewhere. You now have to deal with rodents and other things eating those things. The quality will drop. When you return it to the market, you may not get. But now IT and tech has made it easier that commodities you can mutual funds, like I said, you can also consider that. Then there are commercial papers. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. Commercial papers are maybe companies like Dangote or banks going out that, okay, we need so amount of fund to run so project. So can the public lend to us? So their interest rates are a bit higher. It ranges around 18% to 22% per annum, which makes more sense than the 10% you may see in the public space. You understand? So these are options, but now your money will be locked based on maybe 90 days, 180 days, or 270 days, depending on how you want to allow that money to go. So these are some of them that I can recommend.
Yes, and one thing I would say is investment is patience. From everything you've said,
Yes,
investment is patience. You see, the people who are in a hurry to always make returns from what they've put money in, they most likely lose the money.
Exactly.
Because they are, I want it now. I want it to be done now, and I want to have the benefits now. So one thing I'll put out there is, if you are looking at investing, you need to cultivate the habit of patience, or the virtue of patience, because
you know, I normally tell people that you don't plant corn today and start opening it to see how it's growing the next day. You understand? You need to give it time to come up, right? So people need to cultivate that patience. Any money that you need now, you don't allocate that to investment. Make sure it is money that, okay, you can do without it for the next 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Sorry, something just came to my mind. The stock market is also another channel. Stock market is businesses that are in the public space. Like you have several banks, they have stocks in the Nigerian Stock Exchange regulated. There are various Dangote Sugar, Dangote Cement, all these guys, they have their shares up on sale. That even IT also has made it easier for us that you can buy these shares with your phone. Yes, with your phone you can buy, okay, I want to buy 100 shares of so company, you pay. And lately, looking at the stock market, banks have been doing well lately with all with the new government that's coming now, and some of the policies that are in the plate from the banking sector. So you can see, in short, banks were the first to increase salaries of staff.
Yes, I saw that.
Because their profits have been coming in real good. You understand? So the last 2-3 months, the banking sector, in terms of the stock market, they have been moving quite. So I don't see it backtracking anytime soon. So it is also something you can look. So if you are somebody that is working, right, you can allocate, okay, automatically every month, maybe 10K, 20K, 50K, or depending on what is your range, this can go into so stock. You start building like that gradually. You understand?
And the thing is, you don't even have to have too much money on ground.
Yes.
That 15,000 you're not using to do anything, just put it. I promise you, it always yields something. Yes. But the thing is, people look at money small.
Yes.
And that's why there are certain people from a certain part of this country I don't want to mention. That's why they excel in business, because
Actually,
5 naira, they see 5 naira as a return. It's money.
And those people, they know how to delay gratification
very
well.
So they would rather sell, if everybody is selling 20 naira, they would rather sell 10 naira and have quick returns. Go back to the market. You see, while their counterparts are still having the goods they bought from 3 months back, they've gone to the market about 3 to 4 times.
Yes.
And they've made the profit that you will make in a long period of time, or you are waiting to make in a long period of time.
Yes.
So yes, it doesn't have to be so much money. And I've been emphasizing this since last week. It doesn't have to be so much. No matter how little you have, just put it there. It will work for you. We're not supposed to be working for money forever. We have to make it work for us at some point.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of us don't want to hear.
Yes, let me share a little story on financial intelligence. I think I came across this story some time back. In 1979, so a group of teachers, they were working in a school, and their school decided to give a loan a car loan to all of them. You understand?
Okay.
So while most of the teachers, the Opel was the trending cars at that time. If you have an Opel, you're on top of your game. You understand? So most of the teachers, they took the loan, they bought their Opel, came to school flaunting their Opel. One of these teachers said, okay, she decided to buy a fairly used car. Not Opel, fairly used car, 2 of them, instead of buying a new car for the entire loan amount. So when she's coming to school, she hired a driver so that the car will be running a transport business.
Yes.
So when she's coming to school, they will notice somebody comes, drop her, and her car is no longer there. While the other guys, their cars are parked there. Like FZ, they are shaking their key in their hand, that kind of feel. You understand? So after year 1, with the profit she generated, she was able to buy 2 more cars.
Wow.
After year 2, the profit she generated, she had like 6 cars on the road. At year 4, she bought a brand new higher model of that Opel, while these guys' cars were already old. You understand? So if you look at it, that was financial intelligence. Then the people came in and they were mocking her from the beginning that, see, you are still trekking, see your old car that you bought, see our own new car. But after 3 years, it was clear who was more financially intelligent. You can see. So financial literacy will lead to financial intelligence, and you make financially intelligent investment decisions that will pay you in 3, 4, 5 years' time. Yes.
Right, people. I hope you've been hearing all of that. It's 12:30 right here, and you're still right here in the studio at Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, and it's your radio experience you can count on. I have been hanging out with Sir Greg Ikwe. I can't seem to remove that Sir Greg from there, but I've been hanging out with him, and he's from Smart Investors Nigeria, and he has been talking smart, honestly. I'm going to give you that. Right, we have been talking about investments, like I said, in the last month, and today we are having conversation about financial literacy and business development. Now, before we move into the conversation, we'll open up the phone line, so in case there are people who would have questions that they would like to ask you, this is the time, and you can take advantage of the opportunity. The numbers are 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You can also be a part of this conversation on WhatsApp on 090-9705-4450. Right. Now let's ask, what are some of the investment options that people can look at? At this time? I think we've had that conversation, but yes, how can people invest smartly in this economy?
All right. Currently, we know that logistics have been eating into a lot of people's transportation has been eating into a lot of people's allowance and income, basically. So now, looking at the Nigerian scenario, many people just want to survive first. But looking at investments, what's available now, like we've shared earlier, the stock market is good, right? The stock market is good. You can look at the stock market. Commercial papers are good. If you have the numbers, that is, if you have reasonable level of resources, you can look into real estate. That is also very, very good at the moment. So these 3 things, people can look at it. Then it will also be wise to look at service-based businesses to invest in. What I mean by service-based, I come, I do this for you, you pay me, you understand? So these areas currently, they are thriving based on the current economic climate, because if you're a service-based business, you don't need to spend so much on transportation and all of that. You can even factor it into your services. And the stock market, like I said, the banking sector is booming at the moment. You can look into that. And commercial papers, many companies, based on what is happening, they are trying to raise funds to invest. Credible companies that will not default and will pay you back. You can read up on them and look at the commercial papers. You can look at investing in here. So these are some of the things. Then if you are conservative, if you are very conservative, you can look at fixed deposits, mutual funds, and all those instruments your bank can make available to you.
Right. I think we'll take a few minutes to catch our breath, and when we get back, we'll get right into the conversation. Do not go anywhere. It's time for you to take advantage, to ask the experts here, some of those questions. But yes, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. I will be right back at least.
Play those songs. The good tunes just don't stop. The good tunes just don't stop. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja.
Right. The only thing you should be looking for right now is the possible ways you can put in your money, places you can put in your money and get very good returns. Remember, you're still tuning to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And of course, it's your radio experience you can count on. There's a workstation right here, and it happens Mondays and Tuesdays every week. By 12 noon at Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And now I've been hanging out with Sir Greg Ikwe, and we have been talking about investment. And now let's leave that a bit off. I tell you guys that most times we have some conversations. There's a show before a show. So we're talking about how some things are not investments.
Yeah. So there are some things that are not investment, right? There are some things that is gambling.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some things that is gambling. So I see a lot of young Nigerians, they want to turn 100 naira to 50 million. Mm-hmm. Right. And they believe that through betting they could achieve this, okay. Right? It's possible. Of course. It's possible, but the probability is very low. So you may meet somebody and he'll say he's a gambler or he's a bettor and he's investing. Just to disclaim, that is not investment.
That's gambling.
That is gambling. That is not investment because you don't have a methodology to consistently turn that over. Okay. You understand? So if I give you 100K, 7 out of 10 times, can you multiply it? The answer is no, because you don't have a methodology to multiply. If you don't have a methodology to multiply it, it is not investment, it is gambling. Investment works based on a model. There are various models, you understand? So if you go into real estate, there's a model on how you make money. So there are people that buy land and flip it, right? There are people that buy land and build it up, then rent it out. There are people that buy land and it's for commercial property, for commercial purposes. People can come and rent to sell. Like we have ShopRite. ShopRite has built, many people have various sections in it. Yes. You understand? So every business has its different model. So when it comes to gambling, you may not have any model. You're just working based on wishful thinking. You understand? So that is not investment. You understand? Anything that promises unrealistic returns within a very short time frame is not investment.
Unrealistic results.
Unrealistic results within a very short. And many people fall for this because these things attract their greedy part. You understand? So you need to tune down on your greed and check. Most times, this is the litmus test I put in any investment that comes in front of me. How many people have been successful in this thing sustainably in the last 5 years? If you cannot point in the last 5 years, so number of people have been sustainably successful in this, then that is not investment.
It's not something you should put your money. That had to be put out there so that in case someone is telling us, because you might be excited about the information that you have now, saying, oh yes, I have all this information, which means I can make money and I can, advance my income and all of that. But if you don't thoroughly check these things, you might be making a mistake because you never know where you'd be falling, when you'll be falling into the wrong hands. Now let's move on to business development. Our time is fast spent, but let's talk that for a little bit.
Okay, so business development, like you've mentioned, is a combination of two words: developing a business. There are many businesses in Nigeria, and what I've seen over the years is that missing link in terms of business development. So your business is doing XYZ, right? But you need support to access also funds which you don't know about. There are a lot of funding opportunities out there that you can have access to, but because many businesses do not have the necessary documentation, whether you're a startup, whether you're already a business that is growing, whether you're an established business, at every level your business development becomes necessary to you. Many years ago, for one of my businesses, we met a business developer. That was the first time I was encountering a business developer, and we were doing X amount, and we met these guys. They say, okay, we are going to make sure you do 100 million this year. It blew my mind because at that point we were trying to still do 5 million. We're like, how possible is this? But they said, okay, let's work together. So these business developers, they were able to connect our businesses to the various resource points we needed. They were able to build us up in terms of structure, in terms of operations, in terms of organizational culture, in terms of documentation required for these experts to say, okay, this business is actually serious. So most businesses in Nigeria are not developed. And if you ask basically in Nigeria now, do you keep records? Most businesses don't. Can you show me your record book? They don't have. You understand? And a proof of an investor giving you funds to improve your business is he wants to see a record of what you've done before now.
Yes.
You understand? So business development, this is very key. And looking at Nigeria right now, right? We depend a lot on the government saying, okay, government should do this, government should do that, government should do that. But looking at Nigeria right now, the next level of development has to come from the private sector, SMEs.
Yes.
If you look at China, how the economy was able to quickly move was how the SMEs picked up very fast. And looking at the present administration we have, they are private sector driven, you understand? So this is an opportunity for SMEs to step up their game. And a lot of funding is going to come into Nigeria in the next couple of years to support, because the ideas in Nigeria are enormous.
Yes,
Look at it. Afrobeats all around, we are the ones making impact around the world. Look at the IT space. If you see the kind of intelligence that's coming out of Nigeria. So the various people that have ideas around their business, or their business is struggling, or they're at a level and they feel they can do better, you need to engage a business developer for you to step.
Right. Now you've said it. Why should businesses engage a business developer? You've touched a bit on that.
Yes. So access to funding, business proposals, organizational structure, documentations, all key documentations. There are critical documentations around audited financial statements, around tax, around how active a company is in CAC, is the company registered with CAC, management records. All of this is not some knowledge that's in the public domain that a business owner can, by he or herself. The business owner may know how to write probably a basic business plan, but do you know how to write a business plan that can land you the amount of money you're looking for? So all this, it is beyond just you. You need to look at somebody that has gone ahead and has been able to assess and has the resources and the networks to make this happen. So that is why they need a business developer. Yeah.
Now, very good. Let's talk about diversification in businesses.
Okay.
What can you tell us about?
All right. So in terms of diversification in business, you have to understand the economic climate. You understand? If you go to the market now that you are selling lantern, you understand? Nobody is going to answer you, right? If you go to the market now that you are selling torch that uses battery, those big batteries, those big batteries is to put inside torch. So you have to be fast with moving with the trends. You understand? You have to study every day to understand, okay, what is happening in the Western world, where is tech going, where is people's interest going, and you have to be fast in diversifying. And as a business, it's not wise you only have one stream. It's good you have at least 2, 3, 4 streams of income, because in the business space there are seasonalities. You understand? There can be a season that, okay, for 2-3 months nothing is happening in this particular stream that money comes from me. So in that period, is it that you just be dormant? No, you need to now switch and focus your attention on the other stream. And as a business also, in terms of diversification, you need to listen to your clients. If you are very conversant with computer, you know, Microsoft always asks for reviews. If you're using Microsoft Word, and they use those reviews to come out with new features on Microsoft Word, and maybe the latest version of Microsoft Word, you understand, all the Microsoft programs that we have. So in business, it's the same thing. Based on what customers are suggesting and saying, okay, it would have been good if you are offering XYZ services in addition to this, that can be a pointer to how you should diversify your business. It is now telling you that my customers are enjoying this and they would appreciate if they are willing to pay if I offer this and this and this. So a diversified business will last better. There's a statistics that most businesses in Nigeria fail within the first 2 years. 80% of businesses in Nigeria fail within their first 2 years. Number one is that they are not fast in moving with the trend. Number two, they are not open to diversification. They just want to, they have an idea and they want to keep pursuing that idea, and they are not listening to the market. When you go into business, you need to listen to the market. What is the market saying?
Yeah.
And it is not, the market does not speak audibly. You need to observe. Where is the trend going? What are they saying? You need to go and ask the market, what would you want? And then come up with solutions and products that solve those problems that you're seeing in the market. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for this conversation. It honestly has been an enlightening time right here in the studio.
Yeah.
But let's talk to those people who are looking at investing. Let's talk about those people who are developing their businesses. Because one thing I'll say about business development, you can't do everything yourself.
Yeah.
You can't do everything yourself. Like I remember last week I went to a restaurant and it was like a dinner. It's a private dining service where we had about 15 people. You know, so it's for a purpose. Now, one person wanting to come and serve all 15 people was a problem. So the others will be mixed. The service will not be qualitative. Certain things will go wrong because one person cannot do everything. So one thing I've picked from that conversation is learn how do they call it? Allocate different responsibilities to different people. To different people. That's how they call it again. I'm trying to find the perfect word.
Delegate.
Learn to delegate. And that's what like business development encourages right here. Yes. Delegate, some responsibilities to certain people to ensure that you have quality referrals in your business.
Exactly.
Quality reviews and your service is top notch. I don't think anybody would like to move away from something that is giving you quality service.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, and like I said, you need to listen to your customers. Very, very critical. Most, if you go to the bank, there's a complaint box. There's a suggestion box. Some businesses, if you start complaining, they take it as fight.
Personal.
Very personal. It's not. Look at it as an opportunity to improve something on your business. You cannot mark yourself by yourself.
Of course.
Your customers, your clients need to mark you. Understand? I traveled recently, and I noticed the hotel we stayed, their services was going down, as in their quality of service. Then somebody said that in every hotel business that you see that the service is maintained at a particular level, there's a balance between the gender they employ.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought about it critically. It's true. A female will pay attention to detail. A guy will just come in and just touch, and is out. Yeah. You understand? So he may not pay attention to those details. So in a hotel setting, you should have a balance between male and female employees if you want to maintain quality of service. I also believe that this also applies to a restaurant business also.
Of course.
A female gender is more sensitive in that aspect than male, even though the male may, you understand, and depending on which part of Nigeria that male is coming from, there are cultural barriers that feel, okay, I shouldn't be doing this. So you understand? So these are some of the nitty-gritties that certain businesses need to pay attention to. Right. In the Western world right now, there's an advocacy for gender balance.
Of course.
And that is necessary because there's something each gender brings to a business. Yes, you understand? So even as private business owners listening to this right now, you need to think about gender balance also in your business. You understand? It's very critical.
Very important. Thank you so much again, Sir Greg. Just leave us with a word, everyone listening out there.
All right. So invest. If you don't invest today, you beg tomorrow. It's very, very critical. So you need to engage vehicles today that will arrive you at a point B tomorrow that you should be proud of. So delay gratification, make sure you invest and make sure that the investment vehicles you choose are suitable to get you to the point you're supposed to be in tomorrow, so that you can be in a tomorrow you are proud of.
Yes.
So that is the last word I'll leave.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have been hanging out with Sir Gregory Cray, and he is from Smart Investments Nigeria. Thank you so much for everyone listening to us out there. Thank you for being a part of this conversation, and we do hope that you picked a thing or two from this conversation we've had here. Deny yourself.